Good. How are you?
Good.
Right on. Thanks for taking some time.
Well, thanks for asking.
Of course, we're going to know you as the PA announcer for the Abbotsford Canucks,
That's cool.
uh,
I'm fine with that.
and we're going to get to that. But the reason that I asked you to jump on is a friend of mine posted something on Facebook
Yeah.
saying, "Holy shit! Congratulations to my buddy." Uh, right? Mrs.Galaxy Canada 2023, like
For
four
2024.
for
So
next
I
year.
reign the whole next year.
That's that has a good ring to it.
I don't mind it. I ain't mad at
So
it.
so tell us about that. Like congrats on that. That's a huge win.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
what stands out for that part of your life for the like how long does that take to get that? Like is that a year thing? Is it a month by month thing? Like
Well,
what?
me, it took a couple years. That was my third try doing Mrs. Galaxy Canada.
Okay.
And I've been involved in pageants since I was 9 years old. And now this isn't the weird, like freaky toddlers and tiaras stuff that you see on there. My friend, when I was 9 years old, entered the Miss Hawaii preteen pageant and came back, was talking about it, how much fun she had. And of course, as a little girl, I watched pageants on TV and I was like, I want to be Miss Universe. I want to be Miss Canada. That never
Mm,
happened,
mm,
but I learned what pageants can do for a person. And I discovered the Galaxy system years and years ago. It just never really got around to entering it. And Canada got a franchise. And I like the director. I like what she stands for. She's fair. And so I tried the last three times. And both the times I didn't win, I was second runner up, then first runner up, but my friends won.
oh
So
good. Okay.
fine, as
Yeah, right. I mean
I love,
somebody's gonna win, at least they're your friend, right?
right. And I legitimately adore them so much. And then I won this year. So the three of us are just saying, it all happened the way it should have. We
Right.
all,
What's the difference of this year compared to the last couple of years? Like what was the
I,
deal maker, do you think?
I had to get myself right. I had to, well, the first year I just kind of entered just for fun, give myself 2 weeks prep and just go in there, whatever.
Mm,
And then when I got there, I said, oh, I really want this. I really like this. I like this system. I want to do this. And then the next year, I wasn't me. I wasn't, it just, I was shoulding myself a lot. I should like this job. I should want to do this. I should do this. And I lost myself. So I really shouldn't have competed, but I went because I wanted to see my friends and I wanted to see Jenna Marie give up her title. And I was first runner up. And I thought, well, holy smokes, I'm just a shell of myself. And I still managed to almost win. People see something in me. Maybe I should see something in myself. And it sounds really strange at this age to be, needing to find yourself, but I think we're always evolving. So what I did is I just got myself right, you know, got rid of all the toxic things that were around me, everything that I thought I should want but didn't, and got my health back.
mm,
I lost weight, and it's not a pageant where you have to be the skinniest and the prettiest, but I needed to get healthy and I needed to get myself back and find the things that made me happy. And when you prepare for a pageant, or when you prepare for life, you're kind of preparing for a pageant because you have to be your best self in so many areas. And I think that's what did it. I'm not sure. And I just felt good going in.
mm.
And I just had the mindset of it happened the way it should have the last 2 years. And if it's meant for me this year, then it is. And if it isn't, then I'll be happy for someone else.
Yeah,
And it
that's
just
great.
happened to work out. Look at all this wisdom comes with my age.
I know, right? And so like are the girls super catty backstage and
No,
like what you would expect? And no,
no,
no.
no. I can honestly say it isn't. I know some systems there could be,
Right. I mean,
but
yeah. I mean, you kind of almost expect that at those things, right?
well, yeah, because you want something so much. And it's really high pressure. You're running on not a lot of sleep, not a lot of food, just because you forget to eat. Why do I have a headache? Oh, wait, I forgot to eat. And you're just putting yourself out there to be judged, which is so daunting.
Mm,
And gosh, the women that are attracted to the system are just fantastic, goal oriented, fun women that just want a cool experience. And we're still in the same chat from 2 years ago. And last year's group, we still have a chat going and we're still talking to each other.
Mm,
And it's a really, really nice sort of environment to be in, women championing other women. And my husband even
right.
said, "Oh, what pageant you do in Toronto? It's kind of a women's empowerment conference, isn't it?" Write that down. Bring that up in interview.
You're like, yeah, it actually is. So
Yeah.
what does that mean for you then? Like I guess what are the roles that are expected of you now that you've become Mrs. Galaxy Canada 2024?
Or to promote the system and let people know that this isn't, some people have a very negative view of pageants and women that enter pageants. And what I got a lot was, "Oh, you're not a pageant girl." And I go, "So I'm not intelligent, goal driven, or charismatic in front of a crowd? Is that what I'm not?" And then I, shake them up. But what is expected of me now, promote the system, do the appearances, and let people know what Galaxy is all about. And it really is, anybody can join. There's no height limit, there's no weight limit. And not all pageants have that. It's not written in the rules because, darn, that would be a scandal. But
No,
some,
wouldn't it? No doubt.
some it's like, oh, if you're a size 2, you might be a little too big.
Right. Like it may not be written in the rules, but it's certainly
You know,
we
you
know.
know, like if you're not a size 2 or if you're on the older end of the spectrum, you're going for a good time,
Right.
right? Galaxy, doesn't matter. I turned 50 2 months before the pageant. And I said to the director, "I'm not sure if I want to enter again. It'll be my third time. I'll be 50." And she goes, "So?" And I said, "Okay, but I'll be, I'm not going to be skinny." And she's like, "So?"
Mm,
She goes, "Are you still married?" "Yeah." She goes, "Then you could be Mrs. Galaxy Canada. And if you're not, you could be Ms. Galaxy Canada."
right.
There really is something for everyone here. There's sexual orientation, religion, height, size, weight. It does not matter.
Mm,
Everybody. I won swimsuit and I ain't the skinniest. Let me tell you. I did lose weight from last year, but by no means am I walking the Victoria's Secret ramp
mm,
anytime soon.
yeah. And so
And yeah,
what's the best website for people to check out Galaxy Canada?
CanadaGalaxyPageants.com.
Okay.
And if you have any questions about it, ask me.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to talk about it. It's all inclusive. If you're a good person, you want to do good things in your community, and you just want to empower other women, there's a place for you at Galaxy. Actually, last year's Mrs. Galaxy, Trisha, my friend, we were talking about this. What a great system. We're not in any other pageant system, who knows what they would think of us. But she said, "You can be a stone cold weirdo and there's a place for you at Galaxy." And I'm like, I found my system. But it's just really all inclusive. We're all looking out for one another and we're all just championing one another, which is,
That's cool.
nice. It's very nice. It's a really nice,
Yeah.
it's not high stress. I can just exhale and be myself and be accepted there.
Right, right. So is there like a certain way we need to address you now? Like there's no more don't make eye contact with Carolyn, like
I only wanted the green M&Ms.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats. What a crazy honor, right? Like who would have thought?
Absolutely, Stan. I didn't tell a lot of people I was competing because I didn't want to compete for them. I didn't want to impress them. I wanted to do this for my own reasons. And
Mhm.
also, selfishly, I didn't want to have to come back and go, "I lost again for the third time."
Yeah,
And even though there's no shame in that, I just didn't want to disappoint anybody, even though no one would be disappointed. It was just something I just wanted to do for myself. I wanted to compete for me and get ready for me. And, my inner circle knew, of course, but
right, right.
yeah. And then my husband posted, "Oh, my wife's at a pageant." Wait, what?
Like
"Oh,
what's going on?
honey, I didn't tell anybody, but okay, I guess we're out now."
That's cool. That's cool. And so for to the sports side of your life, Like,
Mm.
what's the first sports memory for you?
Oh gosh. Going to Canucks games when I was little. Um, Gosh, I
Yeah.
left Vancouver when I was 4 years old. My dad had season tickets and he just kind of took me. And I don't really remember too much. I remember the stick and I remember going like this and drawing the stick with my finger when I was little, and we're talking 70s, okay? And I remember my mom not caring. She doesn't know the difference between a puck and a ball, anything, but she went and she would, have her cigarette, smoke time, didn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
And my dad telling me that the Canucks are our only team. Okay, Dad, okay. Even though he grew up a Leafs fan, but he had the Canucks
Huh?
season tickets. So, he's now a Canucks guy. Don't worry, Canucks
Yeah,
Nation. He's
yeah.
sane now. And baseball. I loved UP. I thought UP was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And then Toronto got a team, and that was it. Dad said, "You like my Toronto Blue Jays."
Right.
Okay.
Yes, Dad.
Yeah, and then it was done. So, when did you become a sports fan? When my dad told me I was.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, he retired early and just kind of made me him. And I went to my first Jays game in the 80s when we were visiting Toronto, and I was hooked. I was in, done. I was a fan. Never
Yeah.
thought I'd talk about it on TV or the radio,
I know,
but
crazy, right?
why would I do that?
Yeah.
Girls don't do that.
And so how did you get the job as the PA announcer for the Abbotsford Canucks?
Well, I did the International Women's Day last year. No, year before now, and just hit it off with everybody there. And then Jen Graham, who was in charge of all the game day, everything, she said, we need someone when Al Murdoch can't be in Abbotsford. When
Right.
Vancouver and Abbotsford play on the same night, we need someone. Would you like to do that? And I was like, oh, great. What an honor. What, maybe 1, 2 games? It was a whole stack of games. So no complaints here. Big learning curve.
Sure.
It's a lot different co-PAing with Al Murdoch, and it's a lot different being an actual game as opposed to it's International Women's Day, which
Sure.
is wonderful and an honor, but it's nice to have it be my job. And so that's how that happened. And I'll be going back again this season when Al can't be in 2 places at once.
Yeah, isn't that incredible? And how cool and how nice is Al Murdoch? Like,
Could he be any nicer?
no,
He could be a jerk because he's so at the top of his
he's
he's at
probably the best in the NHL.
the best, literally the best in the NHL. He
Yeah,
could be a jerk. Everybody wants his job.
yeah,
Everybody wants a piece of him. He could be a jerk. Nope. Couldn't be nicer, couldn't be more supportive, couldn't be more kind.
yeah.
And I just think anyone that meets Al Murdoch is a better person after meeting him.
Yeah, 100%. I was saying to you, texting with you that he's a good buddy of mine, and so
Yeah.
it goes back to when he was doing radio in Vancouver, and I was his producer.
Okay.
So I would op his show while he was on location and stuff, and that's kind of how I got my radio chops, was just hanging out with Al and kind of soaking everything up, and like he's just such a pro, and he's so good at what he does, and everything he touches is gold.
Yes.
There's like so many voices for radio stations across the world, and like he's just a beast, and he's such a nice guy.
The nicest man ever, just so kind. And
Yeah,
I want to do a good job to honor him. Al, all your advice isn't going to waste. And I let my nerves get the better of me, and it's not lost on me that I'm a woman doing this job, and there are very few of us in hockey doing that job as a PA.
right.
And I just want to, say, Al, I just want to make you proud. And he's like, oh, shut up.
Totally, right. And did I
Make
read that right?
yourself proud. And I'm like, no, Al, you're the guru.
Oh, he
And
is 100%. Like they grab him to do like all of the winter classics and all that.
yeah,
Like they're not doing that because it's like, oh, we'll grab Al Murdoch. Like you're grabbing him because like, holy crap, Al's the best. Like he's the best.
because he is the best. He does the
Yeah,
All-Star game. He does the Winter Classics as
he's a
he
monster.
should.
Yeah, yeah. And so I read that right? You're the only woman to have PA'd the entire game for a Vancouver Canuck?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I still get a little throw up when I hear that. I go, oh my gosh, is that really
Crazy.
that
Wh-
can't be true. But the
Which
Canucks
which
are
which team was
terrified.
it? Who were we playing?
Oh gosh, who was it? Calgary. And
Oh,
Calgary was riding like a 10, 11 game winning streak, something like that. And the Canucks
yeah,
were, you know,
the Canucks.
not shining brightly at that time.
Sure. Good way to put
And
it.
sure enough, the Canucks win like 7-1. And that
Nice.
was the Chase that was the Abbotsford's Chase Claypool game when he went on the mic and said, "Calgary Flames suck so bad." I think he was I think he had a pint or two dozen
Probably, yeah.
in
Sounds
him.
like it.
It wasn't like the second or third period, and he was like, and it was so funny. But yeah, the Canucks came to play, and going,
Amazing.
okay, guys, you got to throw me a bone here. I'm still trying to work everything, and it was a rocky game. I mean, I was nervous,
Yeah.
knowing what it meant having a woman do that job, and then a 7-1. Are you freaking kidding me, guys? Come on, help me out here. But
Yeah.
not complaining because it was so much fun, because it was nice to see the Canucks win. Nice to see that win streak end over there, because Canucks fans, sorry, not sorry. Isn't it fun to see the Flames lose?
Oh yeah.
All the time. It's
It's
so fun.
the Flames or the Leafs, like they can both suck it, right? Like straight up.
I love when the Leafs come here because it's always Canucks win.
And
But
so
yeah, that was a really intense game, and they invited me back for a couple more when Al was away.
yeah,
And Abbotsford happened, and
amazing.
couldn't be more grateful. I love going there. It makes me so happy just pulling in to the Abbey Center. I just get this adrenaline, just this kick.
Yeah. So good, right? Because you're a sports girl as well, right? It's not like you're just stumbling in as a broadcaster, like, I guess I'll do it. Like you
Yeah.
actually love the sport, right? So
What is an assist? No, I mean, yes, I
totally,
love
right?
it. And sometimes I get a little too excited. So what I have to work on, when I get excited, I yell.
Yeah.
And when a woman yells, we go high pitched. So I don't be.
Uh, I want you to build the ultimate Canuck team, past and present players.
Okay. All right. Goal. I gotta go Kirk McLean.
You know, Kirk, I was hoping you were going to say Kirk. Kirk was sitting in here a couple of years ago, probably ripped through a case of beer with him, probably an hour and a half podcast, stuck around afterwards. And I played him a whole bunch of indie music and stuff from Vancouver bands and stuff. He's such a good guy.
Oh man, when you said Kirk, I was like, is he there
No,
now?
God.
Like, what are you, Oprah? You know, he always does the, well, funny you say that. Look who's here. I
I
thought
know,
that
right? Oh, I got him
that
on the side here.
oh
Oh,
my
he's great. Love Kirk.
oh gosh, who else? Who else? Well, Harold Snaps has to be in there. I'm not even gonna go by positions. I'm just gonna pick players. So I
Yeah,
might just have like 10 defensemen and a goalie. So, we're
that's
just
fine.
gonna go there. Harold Snaps, period. Stan Smeal, also one of the nicest men ever, Stan
All right.
Smeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I can just keep naming people. God, it's like Sophie's Choice. No, I'm like Sedines, Linden. Okay,
Yes.
now I want to
Yes.
go West Coast Express, but Quinn Hughes, Elias Pettersson, and Thatcher Demko. Like Thatcher Demko and Kirk McLean. How's that for a tandem?
Thatcher had a great game last night.
Thatcher is back,
Yeah.
baby. And how about these Canucks this year?
Great. So far, so good.
I mean, it's only been how many games,
Six, 7 games in.
but playing Edmonton and taking that early lead had kind of flashbacks to last year. Oh my gosh, look at this. What was it? 3-0 or 5-0, and then
Right.
then it wasn't
Yeah.
really quickly.
But
So I
still
think
holding McDavid to nothing was like,
And did you see how little
That's tasty.
spiky he was too after the 8-1 game?
Yeah,
Throwing some little shade there.
yeah.
But delightful. As Canucks fans, we finally have something to cheer for. It was so up and down, and I mean,
Oh
on
yeah,
for these teams, you're like, why? Why is this happening? Look at this talent. Why?
I
But
know.
I mean, it's still very, very early. Cautiously optimistic. Cautiously,
Looking good. Yeah,
knocking
yeah.
on all of the
Uh,
wood here.
are you a big gambler? Like, do you bet on sport?
No, I don't. I if I'm in Vegas, I'll
Yeah,
bet on the Cubs to win the World Series or something silly like that.
yeah, yeah,
I I was just funny. I was talking to my husband about that. I don't like betting because a friend of ours was like, if Pedersen gets an assist, then I win, $700 or something like that. So we're cheering him on. We're like, come on, no, Petey, you don't get the empty net. Pass it to someone and I think he won something, but not the big, I don't know.
yeah,
And he said my husband was lamenting that there's no sports books here in Canada where you can just walk in, place a bet, and leave. And I said, I don't like betting on things I don't have control over.
yeah.
It's a control freak thing. I don't know. Yet I still play fantasy football and hate throw things, but that's a whole other story for another time. But not a big better, but I will do the, like I said, the silly bets, like,
Yeah,
the Cubs to win the World Series or the Jays to win or something like that. But
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
really bet.
yeah. I used to be more of a bettor when I was younger, and now I'm like that $200 I could have spent on something else, or you know what I mean? Like,
That's a lot of tequila.
it's a lot of tequila. I like the way you think. Uh, Carolyn, I'd love to get outside of, and I told you I'd be about 20 minutes. We're already at 20. It's
Oh
flying by
God,
here, but I'll
I'm
keep you
sorry
around
I
for,
babbled.
yeah, keep you around for a few more.
Yeah,
I'd love to get
I
outside of
got time
sports
if you got time.
and what you're known for, like the music in your house and stuff. As a kid, what are you being exposed to? What are your parents
Well,
playing?
I was lucky in that I had an older half sister that introduced me to all the cool music, all
Yeah,
the stuff, and growing up in the 80s, of course, I lived and died for Duran Duran. I was going to marry Simon Le Bon, and
nice.
you just had to wait for me to grow up and for
Right.
us to meet. And then I met my cool friend in high school and her cool older sister. And then all of a sudden I'm listening to, all this hair band, all this hair metal.
Motley Crue.
Yes, Molly Crew. Yes, I liked Vince. She liked Nikki. Our
Oh,
friend
good.
taught
No
me.
fights then. That's all right.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I still listen to it now. It's funny, the Spotify end of year, my most played playlist is Molly Crew.
Oh my God. Still, that's great.
Second is Def Leppard or something stupid. And I'll post it, and all my younger friends are going, "Oh my God, you're so old." I said, "What?
Yeah.
It's not 1989? What do you mean?"
Still the best music though. Like the 80s was the best music.
I mean, we had the best music, didn't we? But like I said, I was lucky to get introduced to ZZ Top when I was younger, Leonard Skinner, um, and I was just able to listen to all this really cool stuff. My sister had records and
Yeah.
boxes, so it was really cool to listen to that. But yeah, I still think it's 1989. I still listen to
Yeah.
Motley Crue. I still listen to Bon Jovi, and every time someone says, "Oh, this came out 35 years ago," I go,
I know it's crazy, right? You think of like somebody says 1990, you're like, yeah, 10 years ago. Like, no, dude,
"Yeah,
that's
no,
30 years ago.
yeah."
I don't think we're far off in age, by the way. I'm turning 50 in December.
Oh, yeah. So you're 73.
Well,
Okay.
that's 73. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the club. I shall welcome you to the happy side of 50 club.
So you just turned 50.
Just turned August 8th.
And how was that for you?
Well, it was supposed to be a wonderful celebration. I was supposed to go home to Maui. I
Yeah.
was working the morning show, CTV Morning Live, on the 8th and the 9th. And the 9th, we were going to fly out, and the island caught fire. August 8th was the day the Lahaina fires hit. But as far as we knew here, it was just another brush fire. It'll be fine. And then I woke up on the 9th, like 3 o'clock in the morning, getting ready for the shift. I was looking at my phone and I didn't have my reading glasses on. 50, and I didn't have my reading glasses on. So I was just looking at my phone. It was still dark, still foggy. And I said, God, AI is screwing things up. People are going to look at this and be really scared. And I was scrolling. This isn't AI. That's Lahaina. And I was just in a panic, and I just kind of went into this mode of, well, I have to get ready for work, but what is happening to my friends? What's happening? So I'm texting my friends that live in Lahaina going, is this true? Are you okay? What's happening? No one's texting me back.
Mm.
I mean, they have other things to do, like fleeing for their lives.
Yeah,
And
that,
it
yeah.
was just, and I woke up my husband and I said, we can't go. We can't go. Look at this. And it was just a big flurry of panic, and it just became not about my birthday, not about celebrating. I didn't even want to celebrate. It felt wrong. I felt guilty not being there to help, not like I was going to, what was I going to do, put out the fires, but I just felt like I needed to be there to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
So very subdued celebration this year, but in times like that, I just go, you know what, I had a birthday,
Yeah.
I
Right.
have a house to be in. So I didn't get my celebration. Ooh,
Mm,
so what? Who
mm,
freaking cares? And
totally.
the
Yeah, because
island,
like people were like literally jumping into the ocean to
yeah,
escape the heat and shit. Like,
yeah, because the fire spread so quickly because there was a hurricane off the coast and it was so windy, and that was the main concern at first, was the wind. My friend lives in Upper Kula, in the upper part of the mountain, and she was posting videos of trees sideways, like big palm trees sideways, and she was scared of the wind. Never mind a brush fire. A brush fire wasn't even in the thoughts. And then it just spread, and I mean, devastation. Our wedding venue is gone. Front Street that we used to go to as kids, gone. People's homes that were in their families for hundreds of years. It used to be the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom, gone. It is just absolute devastation and ash. I'm going to cry. Devastation and ash. So, yeah, hopefully they will give the land back to the people that deserve it, the Hawaiian people.
mm, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my 50th. Probably cry. Like I
Well,
seriously, in
have
the
one
last little
for
while,
me.
I've really started to like think of, mortality and like what I'm going to do for like the next 20 years, 30 years of my life. And like starting
Yeah.
to think of that way more than ever before. So,
And do you find yourself going, oh, I wish I would have done this, or I should have done this more? Yeah.
no,
I never try to live my life with regret, but
yeah,
now I think, oh, maybe I should have tried this, or I should have tried this, but I
I guess
just,
kind of like I would like to travel more. And I think that's probably the only thing because
yeah, that's
I had a really good career in radio.
my, mhm.
Been podcasting for almost 10 years now, and it's kicking ass. Um, so professionally and that sort of thing is like I'm good there. But I
Mhm.
think it's the selfish things of like I want to travel the world and I want to go to these places and I want to do shit that's fun for me.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah.
no, I don't really think about that stuff. You?
No, that's my regrets, is I wish I would have traveled more, but then my
Yeah.
husband goes, well, why can't we?
We still can though, right? We
Still
still
can.
are young. Like 50 is the new 35, 40.
I act 11, so I'm sure it all evens out.
Totally right. And
But yeah,
where is the next
my
place you're gonna travel to? Do you know?
next place,
Yeah,
Hawaii,
yeah,
going home finally for the trip that has been postponed a few times.
sure.
Going at the beginning of December, finally going back home to see friends. And then got a few things in the works, possibly Iceland again. My
Mm,
friend runs the Miss Iceland pageant, and I like to go to help out, but open to anything, man. People are saying, oh, with this title, do you want to come here and help this pageant? Yes.
yes, I do.
You didn't,
Yes.
we didn't tell you where yet. I don't care.
The answer is yes.
I just want to go
Yeah,
and meet new people, experience new things, taste new foods, breathe new air,
all that
and
stuff.
yeah, all that good stuff. Because
Yeah,
you can buy stuff. What is that? No, I want to experience things and I want to
Yeah,
see things. I want to meet people. That's the meaning of life, really.
totally. Like, and your next year is that, right? Like, I want to talk to you in a year from now, and I want to know like how it was, what you did, and like what a crazy year you've got coming up here.
The next one, can I show you my new shiny hat?
Is that
Oh,
was it?
like
Is that called a tiara? Is that what that is?
it is a tiara.
Nice. Can you put it on for us?
It is. Oh, wow, like
Nice.
healthy light. Look at that. And my sash, I'm so unbelievably honored and grateful to
Oh, that's
have.
great.
Look at that. And it's a little stiff. I found out they got the wrong kind of glue to put the rhinestones on. I don't know if this is a bad thing to admit, but they got Gorilla Glue. So it's a little hard in some places.
It's not going off anyway.
Yeah, it ain't coming off, and
Yeah,
I'm not delicate with my things. So, and I plan to work this. So
that's
I am
great.
complaining, and I'm just very grateful to be able to do this. And next up, I mean, definitely next August, right after my birthday, going to Orlando for the Mrs.Galaxy pageant to represent Canada internationally.
Woo! Nice. Uh, quickly back to the music.
Mhm.
What was your first concert?
Platinum Blonde.
Nice. Nice. Holy crap. Flashback.
How's that for being 50 right now?
Crazy. Like
Platinum
that.
Blonde, Maple Leaf Gardens, baby.
And those were one of those bands, like Canadian bands, that actually legitimately stood up against all the other international bands. It was because of their videos too. Do you remember
Yes.
those videos on like
The
Friday night videos, Good Rockin' Tonight and all that?
JD Roberts playing all the cool videos, who's
Yeah.
now John Roberts, White House
JD
correspondent.
Roberts, like when he went to news, I was like, what the what?
I
Not,
know, I still
not a
see him
news
now. And I'm
guy.
like, no, you should be wearing a leather jacket and me waiting in line at the record store to get your autograph.
Totally. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Platinum
Platinum
Blonde.
Blonde.
What still stands out from that show? What do you remember?
Fact that I was there, because I grew up in Hawaii. I grew up on Maui, and we didn't have anything like that. We had no concerts. We had nothing of the sort. So I would
Mm,
watch, videos on TV and see the, the live videos, thinking, gosh, if I could only just be in one of those shows one day. Imagine. And I just never thought it could happen. Just I was living on an island this big in the middle of nowhere. No one came to see us.
mhm,
And
mhm.
finally getting tickets to Platinum, I remember having the ticket in my hand and just holding it, just so scared and just wondering what was going to happen to it, and just being just in such awe and looking at all the people and all the pretty, beautiful people that were watching the show, and to see them live. Those are the people that are in my tape and cassette tape. Those are the people that are in my tape that I have at home. And it was just the whole experience. And then just looking around and seeing how much work was put in to put on this show. Then they had to tear it back down again. And I was just absolutely fascinated. And music was my thing, man. Any concert I could go to, I wanted to go. I didn't care if I was back row, front row. I wanted into every concert.
Totally. Still to this day, I'm like that. Like, just get me in the building.
Get me in. I don't care. And Guns
Yeah.
N' Roses was just here, and a
Did
friend
you
of
see
mine.
it?
No, I was in Toronto
Oh,
competing.
oh, I saw that one. I saw the GNR Alice in Chains. It was so good.
And
So good.
Slash, man, that guy he never ages.
Crazy.
I'll have what he's having.
He does look the same as like late
Yeah.
80s, early 90s. Looks the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
And still sounds the same. I mean, you go Slash.
He,
I'll have what he's having. But
he crushes. Yeah.
these old these old timey concerts, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, they're still going.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw them back in the day, back in the heyday.
Yeah.
I
Same.
remember watching Tommy Lee's drum set do the flip.
Oh, you saw that. The rotating
Saw that
drums.
one.
Oh,
Yes, my
nice.
first metal hard rock concert was Metallica, and I hurt my neck because I was headbanging, and oh wow, is this Whiplash? Whiplash, huh? We were like back row Maple Leaf Gardens, and again, totally in. I'm all in. The longer the hair, better the music.
Yeah, totally right. You're probably not far off. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. A couple more questions, and I'll let you go. This isn't a question; it's more of a tell us a story. I want to hear a near death story where you could have died.
Ooh, wow! I can't. I'm sure I got lots of them. I
Probably
think
do, yeah.
just recklessly driving when I was a kid. Uh,
Oh yeah.
I used to drive from Barrie to Woodbridge in Ontario,
Hmm,
and I had a idiot boyfriend up in that area, and I, missed my curfew. So the 45-ish minute drive, I made it in really, really no time. And I was really proud of the speed on the speedometer. And now looking back, I'm going, why are you a psychopath? What was wrong with you? Someone
crazy.
was looking out for you, because if I would have just flinched on that steering wheel, something would have gone wrong. So that was my moment of, okay, I'm not going to do that ever again. So that was my one and done of exceeding the speed limit. I'm not going to tell you what I was going, but it was just obnoxious. It was, midnight, 1 o'clock. So there weren't a lot of cars on the road, but
Right.
there were still
Started
cars.
with the two.
Close, close. Not proud of it. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying this to brag. I'm saying
No.
that I was an idiot, and someone was protecting me and everyone else on the road, and I will not do that again. So I
Yeah.
think that was probably it. Any other near death? I mean, I had a car accident, but I walked away. I wasn't driving, but to have a near death, I don't know it. So got someone looking out for me.
Fingers crossed it doesn't happen.
No,
Not
no.
not many people. Like honestly, I probably have asked 500, 600 people in the last 10 years that question, and like 90% of people are like, "Oh, dude, this, this." Like people just are like brushes with death. Like I think if you can get out of that 18, 19, 20 years old, you should be okay.
Oh gosh, yeah. And I was about 19. I was like
Yeah,
19, 20,
yeah,
stupid. I was stupid.
yeah, yeah,
And I still kind of think about that when I drive home from Abbotsford and I've got a little bit of a lead foot and I look and I'm not even anywhere near that. And I just go,
yeah,
okay, you know what? What am I doing? Go in the
yeah.
slow lane, put on the music, crank the crew, and just drive the speed limit, because
Crank the
really,
crew and just mail them the speeding ticket. Like
yeah,
Wildside gave me this, boys. You want to pay that
no,
for
I
me?
don't speed anymore, man. I just can't. I mean, I don't always obey the speed limit, but I don't go obnoxious like that, and I don't ever want to hurt anybody else.
Yeah,
uh, I don't want to. I don't want to hurt myself, but I really don't want to hurt anybody else. But yeah,
yeah.
so now I've matured, so I just crank the crew and go a reasonable speed limit, and I get home when I get home. And when I go to Abbotsford, I make sure I leave myself lots of time, because you never know what the weather is going to be like, what the traffic situation is going to be like. And if I get to Abbotsford early, oh no, I'll have a coffee or I'll go into the arena early. No big deal. Rather be early than dead.
Yeah. Well said. All right, last one. Could be the toughest. Maybe it's your easiest. Uh, can you pick one career highlight? Just one.
I'd say maybe Canucks PA. That Calgary Vancouver game that I did, the very first one, being the first woman in Canada to PA a full NHL game, being the first for the Canucks, well, Canucks in Canada, but
Mhm.
yeah, the second in NHL, and what that meant and what that means. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he brought his daughter to the game, and he knew I was doing the game. He brought
That's
his daughter to the game, and he didn't say anything. She's like 8, 10 years old. And then she was like, Daddy, is that a girl? He goes, mm-hmm. She goes, is that why you love the Canucks? And okay, sure. Yeah, yeah. Sure. This is what we're going with. But things like that. No, oh gosh, then there's OT with Caroline, Lindsay, and Lena. We had a show on Sportsnet 650, the first all-female sports talk panel, and we had dads calling in and texting us all the time saying, I'm listening with my daughters. This is really cool. Thank you. And then the three of us would just look at each other and go, crap, this is bigger than us now, isn't it? Jeez, no pressure. Because when I was 8 years old, I didn't hear a woman on a PA system.
Mhm, mhm.
And it wasn't a dream come true. I didn't dream it. I didn't know I could do it. So I would probably think, a tie for those. But
Mm.
I mean, doing that first PA Canucks game, man, and all the anxiety and all the sickness that came with it and all the nerves, man, it means a lot. And I'm still doing it for Abbotsford.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you for taking some time and carving a little bit of space for us here in East Van. You're easy to find online.
Mhm.
Is it Frolic?
Frolic.
Frolic. So it's
Yeah.
Frolic on Instagram
Hmm.
and Caroline Frolic on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't Twitter a lot, twat.
You're more
I don't
you
do a lot
don't
of
twat
that.
a lot. You're more of an Instagram girl.
I'm more of an Instagram girl. I mean, I
Yeah.
think Twitter is just so unbelievably toxic and
It's
stupid.
really bad since Elon took over. It's really bad.
I mean, it wasn't exactly a shining example of humanity before.
No,
Uh,
but it's bad
I,
now.
I try and go on it, and I mean, I'll like stuff and I'll retweet things, but I don't care. I'd rather be on Instagram. It just seems safer, and I by no means don't need to be tiptoed around, but it's just why ingest toxic negativity if I don't have to? So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Caroline Frolic on the Twitter. If you want to see me retweet, it's Frolic, and then of course Mrs. Galaxy Canada.